Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie Part 1. It is Sunday, November 23rd, 2025, and I'm so happy that you are joining us this week. Mom and I have some great projects to share with you using some brand new November online exclusives. Let's turn the camera around to my desktop and I'll show you what we're using. We are showcasing more online exclusives this week. We have brand new online exclusives that just came out November 4th, so just a few weeks ago. And Stampin' Up! Is having new online exclusives every other month throughout the year. The November online exclusive product list is linked up in the video description, so you can check it out if you'd like to have a printable version of the products that are available. But of course, the best place to see them is to go to the online store and check out the online exclusive sections to see what's currently available. Because the online exclusives do not have a specific end date, you'll see some that are a year old or 2 years old and some that are only a few months old. So the best place to see what's currently available in the online exclusive section is to go to that online store. So Mom and I have been showcasing some different bundles and different products that are available, and I think we've got a few more to come, but today we are focused on the Hobby Haven suite. And this is one of 2 suites that's available as part of the November online exclusives. It has a designer paper, a stamp set and die bundle, embellishments, and ribbons. So let me give you a closer look here at Hobby Haven. I downloaded this picture from the online store and printed it out. It makes me feel like a catalog to, to stick it in with my product list. So I just saved this image from the online store with the suite page that shows all the products. It's kind of at the top there. And I just love it. I love it for inspiration. They're using the products in so many different ways. One of my favorite samples that the Stampin' Up! Concept artists have made is this one here, using one of the stamp images kind of as a background. And so all of the stamps in the Creative Haven, the dies are greetings, or stamp set they're all greetings. So you have "You are the best," "Friends like you are golden," "Deep breath," "You've got this." So in this card in particular, they're using this stamp, and either they partially inked it or it's just all covered up so that you can't see that you've got this. Now this stamp set has coordinating dies that are all like labels, and there are several different tag shapes, and then we've got the arch, the oval, and the banner. And both the banner and the ovals have these other dies that you can use to make them tags. So you can either die cut the shape as a solid, or you can add that die in and die cut a little tag shape, either the circle or the flat like ribbon opening. And so we've got 2 of those to fit both the oval and the arch, and then this other one will fit at the top of the banner so that you can nest the die in there and die cut them at the same time. I love that. So 2 different options for the tags. You can have tags or just have the shapes, and then we also have the detailed leaf dies in this set. So all of these images will fit inside of the different tags and shapes. And I have to show you a sample from that was inspired by my friend Julia Mazer. She did a guest stamp art presentation at the Traditions of Christmas virtual retreat that I did earlier this month. And I just loved how she combined the 2 images, the deep breath and the friends like you are golden. And she just used the other one as a background, and it kind of gets covered up. If you look closely, you can see part of the letters, but the loops sort of just look like leaves instead. So play around with layering these like they've done here, like I've done here. There are lots of different ways that you can use the stamps to create beautiful backgrounds. So check out this amazing designer paper. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. The designer paper has images and, of course, beautiful B-sides, but it also includes little die cuts. And I love the paper that have the laser cuts because you can just create clean and simple cards, or quick and easy cards is what I meant to say, without having a coordinating stamp set. In fact, there is not a coordinating image stamp set to go with this designer paper. So you'll have to kind of be creative with adding the images using the laser cut pieces from the designer paper. Let me show you the designer paper, and then I will show you some of the other items that are part of the suite. Now this is a 12 by 12 paper. I've cut it down just so that it's a little easier for me to show you. There are 5 different patterns of the designer paper, and each one has a different theme. Now The name of the paper is Hobby Haven, and so very much we are exploring different hobbies. Like here we've got cooking, and so we see lots of different kitchen items and baking items, as well as the coffee machine. Then this one has books, and I love the candles and flowers and desk lamps and bookmarks and all kinds of things for our book lovers. This one is got yarn and sewing, so this is all kinds of fabric, and sewing and crocheting and knitting and that kind of thing. I love all those little images, and so we see several different die cuts that are going to go with each of these themes. This one is for our plant moms out there. Lots of plants and cozy little nooks. I think this goes well with the reading too. Like I would love to sit and read in a room like that. And then our last one has different spa products and is all about like relaxation, and maybe our makeup lovers out there, but anyone who just loves to do that whole routine. And then we've got these great colors on the back side. So this paper includes garden green, some coastal cabana, Lost Lagoon, pecan pie, crumb cake, petal pink, really, really pretty colors. And then we've got 2 sheets that are 12 by 12 that have all of the die cut images. And so there's 2 sheets that are identical, and you've got all kinds of different images here that are going to go with the designer paper. And I like to keep mine, I know we've talked about different ways to store them in the past. We've used cello bags, but I got these little pouches, I don't even remember when, but I've been using them for ephemera and die cuts, and I love that it's just a little sturdier, a little more heavy duty. I purchased this on Amazon, and it comes in different packages where you can get just like a couple or like a whole bunch if you want to share with friends. And so I'm going to put the link to this in the video description if you would like to check that out. But it's essentially just like a little vinyl envelope that has a Velcro clasp. And so I usually just keep it slid right in here in my paper so that I can access it when I need to, and they stay kind of all neat and tidy in there. All right, so let me show you some more things that are part of this suite. We've got the earthy matte dots, and I was kind of struggling a little bit with these dots because I don't think the predominant colors are represented in the embellishments. Like I'm using a lot of like garden green and petal pink and coastal cabana or pool party, and that's what the colors in the earthy matte dots. Maybe this one goes really well. I think that these are fantastic for lots of other purposes. I love the colors, especially this time of year. And these are very simple dots. There's no like facet or sparkle to them, so they're also really great for masculine cards. The ribbon that comes in this paper that comes in this suite is the garden green chevron ribbon. And again, like I found it to be a little bit challenging to use this ribbon. I feel like it's very kind of specific, but it is a really pretty ribbon, and it's 1/8 inch, really easy to tie, and I did definitely incorporate it in some of my samples. So let me show you some of the cards that I have made. I already shared this one. I used a little bit of ribbon around that banner. Here's a card. This one's from Celine Kempton, and she used the Peaceful Garden embossing folder that goes with that in the background. Love that. Embossed in gold because friends like you are golden. Here's another card that I made with the tag, "You're the best," and some of the ephemera from that designer paper pack. On this one, I brought in some of the antique pearls because I didn't think that any of the other colors kind of went so well with that. So I like the antique pearls with that. Similarly, here's a card from Kay Cogbill, and she did incorporate some of the ribbon in there. So happy to have you in my life. The stars are part of that stamp set, and kind of a little background image right here, so you can add that. I almost used that on my card today. Here is another one that I created with a crumb cake card base and some of that cooking the designer paper in the background, "Wishing you good things." This stamp set, and I guess it's the same stamp I used on this card, "Wishing you good things," and the banner punch are part of the Banner Sayings bundle, another new bundle from the online exclusive offering in November. Oh my gosh, I love this one. The punch has 3 different shapes, 3 different shape banners. It is on our list, so Mom and I are going to be sharing some project ideas with that very soon. I'm sure in an upcoming Sunday stamping video. But here's another one, a clean and simple layout with that ephemera. Just makes it really easy to create cards. The colors here, garden green for the card base, a little secret C under there. Oh, my knuckle just stuck to this. I wanted to show you, we punched these out when Julia was here doing her presentation, and I think that it's just important to take note here, because when I first saw the deep breath, I thought that it looked like, oh, that almost looks like our oval punch, and the Creative Haven dies and the oval punch are very similar, but you can see that the punch is a little bit shorter, just a hair, and also a little bit wider. So the Creative Haven longer and just a bit skinnier. You could layer them really nicely together, but I just wanted to show you how they are a little bit different. You could probably put the deep breath in the oval punch. So if you don't want to get the dies and you get the stamp set, you could probably fit that in there. It would be pretty close, and you just have like a little extra room on the sides. So just a heads up about those shapes, very similar. All right, it's so quiet. Mom and I weren't able to film again together this week. It has just been such a busy week and weekend, and I feel like with the holiday coming up next week, I just don't know when it's going to slow down. But I know she's watching the premiere, and so she'll get to see my project the same time as all of you, and I can't wait to see what she's created. But I've got a little fun fold in store for you. My card today was inspired by a card I've had in my stash from Janice Torgerson. I'm using the Hey Chick stamp set. I love this one. She made this for my birthday. Gosh, I don't even think it was this year. I think it might have been last year or the year before. I kind of had it in my like gonna try these cards box, and I've made a card like this before. I think even for Sunday stamping, it's been a little while, but I don't know, it kind of circulated to the top, and I thought, I want to try this one. So we are going to make this card, I don't know what you call it, a double Z fold card, maybe, or like a big Z, little Z, maybe that's what I called it before, because each one of the individual pieces is like a Z. So we got a big Z and a little Z, and it just makes kind of a fun card, cute to display like that too. So I wanted to show you cutting from the large piece of designer paper, because when I was cutting my pieces for my other sample, I realized like how awesome it is that both of the pieces come from the same sheet. So we are going to start with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and we're creating both the big Z and the little Z by cutting from the same sheet. So I'm going to start with the large card base, and I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches. And I'll extend my paper cutter here, and then I'm going to cut it at 9 inches. So I do have leftover cardstock to use on another project, but our card base for the bottom is 5.5 by 9 inches, and I'm scoring at, I'm scoring at 3 inches and 6 inches. So I'm going to score 3 and 6 inches. So this is for the card base. Now, when you cut 8.5 at 5.5, the remaining piece is 3 inches, which is so convenient because our second piece is 3 by 9 inches. So I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut it at 9 inches, another piece to save for another card. And we're going to do the same thing, scoring at 3 inches and 6 inches for our small Z. So score 3 and 6. For this card, I am using early Espresso Cardstock, and I kind of like the continuity of having the dark or the same color for the card base as the mini one, but you could mix them up and use different colors if you'd like. Now I have some designer paper pieces that we're going to use to embellish our card. For the big card, we have 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I have chosen the baking designer paper, the baking themed paper. And then for our small pieces, I have some of these splotches, looks like pecan pie or crumb cake with some Coastal Cabana and Lost Lagoon, and these pieces are both 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and there are 2 of those as well. So we are going to put these on the ends of the designer paper, and both of them are going to fold into little Z's. So both of them are going to be like face up with those 2 2 pieces. So we've got those. And then I also have a piece of white cardstock. This is the same as the designer paper, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And this is where you could write a little message if you want to, a little piece of designer paper, 1/2 inch by 2 3/4 to go on the bottom of that. And then I have some additional pieces, a 2 3/8 inch circle punch from Crumb Cake. I have some little laser cut pieces, ephemera from the designer paper. I'm gonna do that one here. And then on the front, I have die cut the small tag from the Creative Haven dies. So this is the small one. There's a slightly larger one. And that is going to be on the front. And I have a little coffee mug to go there. So that is kind of my plan. This, besides the stamping, the stamping, it is a very simple card when it comes to the stamping. The hard part is the card fold, but even that's not very hard. In fact, if you are a new stamper, I would say you absolutely could make this card. It is just some simple scoring, and then just getting those designer paper pieces on there. So very easy, fun fold today. I am noticing, do you see there's like a little mark across the Y? I can't tell if it's a hair. There's something on there. Let me grab I don't know where my scissors are. I think they're still in the kitchen. I'm gonna use, oh yeah, I saw it move. Little hair, that's so funny. I think it might be like a little dog hair that surfaced, got kicked up in the air. That means I need to clean. If I'm still getting dog hair, no, I'll get dog hair for a long time, I'm sure, that's hiding all over the house. You're the best. That's Early Espresso ink. And then for the little white square, I'm gonna stamp So Happy to Have You in My Life. Love that. I am working on some special packages for my top performers on the team, and I was thinking this would be such a cute card to send, so I might have to make a few more of these in different patterns. I might run out of ephemera, so we'll see. Maybe I'll mix it up and everyone will get a little bit something different, but I thought that this would be such a fun card to send to somebody. So I don't know, you're the best. So happy to have you in my life. Who might you send a card like this to? I love the stamps in this set because they have some really nice encouraging words, like deep breath, you've got this, you deserve all the good things, friends like you are golden. So lots of encouraging sentiments that you can send to your family and friends with the Creative Haven dies and stamp set. I am just going to glue all of our pieces down onto the little mini Z using some regular adhesive, especially on the inside. I debated on this last panel whether or not to like pop up the ephemera or the circle, but since this is the inside, I didn't want that to be too bulky, so I just decided to use regular adhesive to layer those pieces down. For the front of this, I do want to add some ribbon, and I'm gonna get out my nice big scissors. I picked out a green coffee mug, and so I feel like that ties in the green ribbon a little bit. And so I'm going to tie a bow. Hopefully this was long enough. Now, if you have trouble tying your bow onto a tag, you can always tie a bow and then stick it on to the tag to cover the hole and have it just sort of be like fake tied on. Like just tie your bow and then glue dot it on, and it will look like it's tied on there even if it is not, because the hole gets covered anyway, and so you would have no idea if this bow is actually tied on like for real or just fake tied on. So just a little tip if you struggle with getting it to be straight or exactly where you want it, that is a little option for you. I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to add the tag to the front of the mini card. And I'm going to do this at an angle over here so that I've got room for my mug. And I want to just put that right in the corner. You're the best. I still want to be able to read it, so I'm going to go off the edge a little. So cute. I love that. Even just that little card. Isn't that so adorable? You could just put that on a designer paper, and I think that'd be really cute. But we are going to put it on a card base that also has a little fun fold to it. So let's add our panels for the big card. And those are going to go on the front, or the first and the third panel. Sometimes I feel like I don't put enough around the edges. I'm just going to add a little there. It was hard to choose designer paper. It was hard to choose colored cardstock to go with the designer paper because there's so many colors. So you could use petal pink for this. You could use some of the garden green. You could use the Coastal Cabana. You could use basic beige. That would be really pretty too. So play around with the colors and pull out. I think the colors that you use tend to be pulled out in the designer paper. So I really liked the contrast of using the early espresso here on this card. I am noticing little splotches. I put on lotion. I tried to get it off my hands, but it is it's on the card a little bit, so you know you always got to be careful when you're putting lotion on and stamping. All right, I'm going to add this to the card base using some tear and tape. And so the place I'm going to put the tear and tape is where the mini card is going to be touching or adhered to the big card. And so that's going to be on the front end. And then also it's going to touch and be glued down right here. So the one end, and then we've got two folds, and just inside that second fold, or I guess just outside that second fold. And I'm just doing 2 layers. So where it will hit your cardstock, card base, is where you want those layers to go. So let's do one at a time. It helps to have another card base handy so that you can, I'm going to do the one that's not in plastic. It helps to have the card base handy to gauge where to put your card, because you want it to not be too big. You don't want it to be wider than 4 1/4, and then it won't fit into your envelope. So use another card base or grid paper to judge your spacing. And I just want to make sure that it's straight here. So it looks like it's about, I don't know, 1 1/4 inches. Let's measure. Oh my goodness. Look at that. 1 1/4 inches. Exactly. 1 1/4 inches from the edge. And so we're just going to make sure we've got the adhesive down really good. And then after that one's good, then we can fold it closed. I want to make sure any of that hanging down gets folded over. And then for this one, you just want to, like, I'm closing everything so that it's flat, and then I'll close the back, because you want to make sure that when it's folded and closed that it doesn't have any like weird bunching. So do one at a time. Do the front, and then make sure that you're folded flat to do the inside. Fix our little bow. And I forgot, we should have added some bling to this. Mom always says to add bling. And so I'm thinking on this card, maybe some of those early espresso dots. And I did make a second version of this card because the ephemera was different. I decided to create a second version that uses different ephemera and different papers. I'm going to give Mom a choice. So Mom, you'll have to let me know. Do you like this one with the coffee? I know you're not a big coffee person. This could be tea, right? That could be tea. Or the second version features the plants. And I used some of the Coastal Cabana for the card base here, for the little and the big. You're the best. So happy to have you in my life. Oops, I forgot to add, I gotta add some bling to this one. I'm gonna add the early espresso again. I think it just kind of ties in with the, I'm only gonna do 2. I know you guys don't like it, but I don't know. I think that the early espresso dot over there just looks so weird. I don't know. Does it look weird? Maybe it doesn't look weird. Tell me what you think. Would you leave that on there? I'll put it on there for now. I might take it off. We'll see which one Mom picks. She likes 3s. Okay, so this or that. Do you prefer the early espresso with a coffee, or do you prefer Coastal Cabana with the plants? Before I let you go and turn you over to Mom's channel, I want to give you a couple reminders. Starting on Tuesday, Stampin' Up! Is having Black Friday deals. Make sure you tune in to the online store, juliedavison.com/shop. Black Friday specials start Tuesday, November 25th and go all the way through Cyber Monday on Monday, December 1st. Now, it's going to be 40% off select products, or up to 40%. That's going to include adhesives and cardstock, but I don't know what else. So I can't wait to see. It's kind of a surprise. Like I think decided to do this a little bit last minute. So I can't wait to see. I'm sure there's going to be some designer paper and some dies, maybe some stamps. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a surprise. So check it out on Tuesday. That's this coming Tuesday in 2 days. Coming so fast. Oh my goodness. And also Thanksgiving is coming this week. So I guess we will see you again next weekend, but it'll be after Thanksgiving. So I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. If you are watching this today on Sunday, it is the last day to sign up for my 12 days of Christmas in July, or not July, my 12 days of Christmas gift box. As you are shopping this weekend and you want to shop for yourself, treat yourself, you can get the 12 days of Christmas gift box. This is 12 individually wrapped Stampin' Up! Gifts, and each one is numbered. You can open them along with me. I'll do unboxing videos daily starting Monday, December 1st. In just a week, we're going to start doing those videos. I'll share some sneak peeks from the new mini catalog, as well as show you how to use the products that I'm including in the 12 days gift box. I also have a special custom gift. When you do the 12 days, you'll get that extra bonus gift from me. Oh my goodness, so much excitement happening. Right now, we have got more project ideas coming right to you featuring this Hobby Haven suite. So click the link right in the middle of the video. You'll also find it in the video description, and head over to Mom's channel so you can see what she's created with the Hobby Haven suite from November online exclusives. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and Mom's so you don't miss out on future Sunday stamping videos. See you next time. Bye, everybody.